States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Beagle,
Present?
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Present.
Councilmember Behrman,
Present.
Councilmember Gotcho, Councilmember Garland Fox. Here. Councilmember Sharp.
Present.
Councilmember Smiley.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you. Changes or additions to the agenda as presented tonight. Assistant Manager Benson,
I have none, sir.
any from the dais? Very good. First item tonight is a presentation as the reaffirmation of the oath of office for Police Officer Brandon Romero. Chief?
Good evening. It's another big day for Wixom Police Department, I've got to tell you. It seems like I've done this a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. We've had a lot of hiring. Tonight I get the opportunity to introduce you to our newest officer, Officer Brandon Romero. Brandon, can you come on up here? Officer Romero comes to us via Milford PD, actually. He was been a PSA off and on for the past couple of years for Milford PD. They knew that we were looking to fill some holes in our lineup, I guess you would say, and they recommended to him. Brandon came in and did some ride-alongs with us, and he fits with our department. It was amazing. It's like a glove. He fits right in with our guys. He's very, very comfortable with our people, and a great fit for us. Now, Brandon is a 2018 graduate of Walled Lake Northern. After high school, he went on to the Oakland Community College for a little while, but then he ended up enlisting into the Army from 2021 to 2023. Now he serves in the National Guard. He actually graduated from the academy back in May, but we can't start until now because he's been in training for the National Guard for the past 2 weeks. So we couldn't get him in here until tonight, but we're still very, very happy to have him. We're very, very fortunate. Brandon is a great person, a hard worker, somebody we're looking forward to a long career with. When Brandon's not at work, he's an outdoorsman, likes to hunt, likes to fish, likes to hang out with his friends and go to his gym. So Brandon's wife, Olivia, is out of town. She's on vacation. He's not going to get a vacation for a little while. So he's here tonight, but his mom, Rebecca, will pin his badge on when that time comes. So, Brandon Romero.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Wixom, Oakland County, Michigan, and I will faithfully discharge the duties and responsibilities of police officer to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Rebecca. This is Brandon's mother, Rebecca, and she's going to pin his badge on. Mayor, I wanted to thank you for the moment of silence for Deputy Reckling. Obviously, this has been a tough time for Oakland County. Our friends, we rely on them tremendously. Our hearts go out to them. They're having a very rough time. Thank you very much. Just to let you know, the men and women back there are here every day doing the same job. I'm proud to lead them and proud to say that Oakland County are our friends. So thank you.
And with that, we'll take a short adjournment. on now. We have, next item of business tonight is the approval of minutes. We got 2 sets of minutes to approve tonight. The first is the regular city council meeting of June 11th, 2024, or the special city council meeting of June 11th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Support. Any discussion? Seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the special city council meeting minutes of June 11th, 2024. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The second set of minutes tonight is from the regular city council meeting of June 11th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of June 11th, 2024. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no correspondence tonight, which leads us to the call to the public. I'll read the rules to the call to the public. The public shall address the council during the call to the public, which shall be included on the agenda immediately after correspondence and again immediately after new business. The first call to the public immediately after correspondence shall be limited to agenda items only. A person shall not address the council in excess of 5 minutes unless the time is extended by a majority vote of the council present. Persons wishing to address the council shall identify themselves and their place of residence and shall state their reason for addressing the council, and all comments by the public shall be made directly to the council. Do we have anybody for the first call to the public? Seeing none, I'll close the first call to the public, move on to city managers' reports. We have the departmental reports for May 2024. Any questions? Councilmember Grellen Fox?
I have a question for Mr. Benson regarding the Economic Development Activity Report. Thank you. There's a lot going on. Just one question about the old CVS there at Wixom Road and Charles. Any potential movement?
No, we don't have anything concrete in terms of, we've had people poking around. I really wouldn't say anyone's that serious. It's difficult because it's a relatively large space. We have had kind of a couple different types of developments looking at it, maybe more complicated than just reusing the space. Again, I find those unlikely, so nothing of significance yet.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Any other questions? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which the items will be removed from the consent agenda and added to the regular agenda at the end of unfinished or new business. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
I got a motion and a support to approve the consent agenda as presented tonight. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have no unfinished business tonight, so we move on to new business number 1, which is a recommendation to approve the purchase and installation of replacement computers through the state of Michigan's Master Computer My Deal program for a total cost of $21,593.80 from city network account number 411-283-971.322 and authorize the city manager to execute the purchase. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Assistant City Manager Benson?
Thank you, Mayor. This particular agenda item is somewhat routine on an annual basis. Sometimes more often we do budget for and plan to replace a certain segment of the city's computers for staff to use during normal operations. The particular method of acquiring these, I do know that's been a conversation in the past. We are recommending going with the My Deal option, but we did secure multiple quotes kind of through different purchasing avenues that we have. So I did just want to point out that we did make it a point to try to get different quotes and really understand what the options are. We also do have Ty Dolan with Skynet Innovations who can talk about some of the more technical things if you have any specific questions. But broadly speaking, this is a relatively routine item.
Any questions? Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Thank you, and perhaps Mr., I'm sorry, name again? Thank you. Well, I know I've only been retired for 100 days, but 3 hours per laptop for configuration?
Yeah, so
seems excessive to me. Could you please explain? I mean, I know there's security software that has to be installed on there, but 3 hours per device?
Yeah, the 3 hours per device is on the high end. We give that, so we just have the buffer, so it's not to exceed 3 hours per device, but that includes the procurement, the unboxing, the setup, and then the removal and disposal of the old devices.
And the disposal, they're gonna be recycled then?
Correct. Yeah, the hard drives will be removed and shredded, and then the devices will be recycled.
Right. So it's a not to exceed,
Correct, not to exceed 3 hours per device.
because otherwise I'd say send people back for training.
Yeah.
At $135 an hour.
Yeah.
All right, okay, thank you.
Councilmember Smiley.
Thank you, Mayor Beagle. I think this question is more for Mr. Benson. So I know, I believe it here it says, the goal is to have no computer older than 5 years. Are we trying to get to that point, or are we already, there is no computer older than 5 years old?
I believe we have very few that are older, and they're deployed in very specific situations, basically low usage, maybe it's a time clock, a machine that's used just for time clocks, or maybe at the front counter for public viewing in the building department, but broadly speaking, we do hold to that pretty well.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure when this process got implemented, and I'm wondering if we're there yet. Sounds like we are, except for a few exceptions, but it's okay.
Yeah. So the particular replacements here are for the oldest in our fleet around that 5-year mark. And just for reference, that 5-year mark came into play a little bit before my time, but it's really a reference to the warranties that tend to come with these machines. And Ty might be able to speak to that a little bit better, but that's generally the recommendation, because you have a wider suite of services from the vendors themselves if something does go wrong. Then get tied with performance updates and things like that.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And I have no problem with the 5 years. I'm just wondering, I'm not going to say 10 years. That's all, thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, seeing no other questions, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to approve the purchase and installation of replacement computers through the State of Michigan's Master Computing My Deal program for a total cost of $21,593.80 from City Network account number 411-283-971.322 and authorize the city manager to execute the purchase. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to new business number 2 is a recommendation to authorize the purchase of 2 Ford Expeditions for the fire department from account number 401-336-973.350. A Ford F-150 pickup truck for the Department of Public Works from account number 401-441-973.390. And 2 Ford F-350 pickup trucks from for the Department of Public Works from account number 401-441-973.391 from Varsity Ford of Novi, Michigan for a total cost of $259,707.60. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Mr. Sigma.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. And what you have before you is the purchase of five vehicles. 2 of them will be for the fire department, and 3 of them will be for DPW. And we've opted to purchase Ford Motor Products because that's what DPW has in their fleet. It's best for management of the fleet to continue to utilize the Ford products in our truck fleet. And we felt that with the additional expeditions that the fire department was looking for, that we would multiply all of those together and try and develop some kind of an economy of scale so that when we put it out to bid, we would get the best pricing available. And we looked at My Deal as we usually typically do each time we purchase a vehicle, and we took the 2 companies that offer My Deal pricing, and as you can see, the Varsity Ford was not a My Deal pricing venue, but they have the lowest bid, and we recommend them for the purchase. We also took any additional Ford dealerships that we had recently bid out for the fire department. We took their bids that had Ford products, and we offered that to them as well. And we found the 4 were comparable in pricing. They're fairly close to each other, but we recommend Varsity Ford out of Novi to purchase the 5 vehicles that you have before you. with that, I'd be open for questions.
Any questions? Councilmember Behrman?
Just a statement, I appreciate you guys taking the time just to fact check my deal, and I don't think to save 10 grand would have been worth to do a formal bid process, but clearly we saved 10 grand, so thank you.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to authorize the purchase of 2 Ford Expeditions for the fire department from account number 401-336-973.350, a Ford 150 pickup truck for the Department of Public Works from account number 401-441-973.390, and 2 Ford F-350 pickup trucks for the Department of Public Works from account number 401-441-973.391 from Varsity Ford of Novi, Michigan for a total cost of $259,707.60. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
And we move on to new business number 3, was the recommendation to approve the year-end budget amendments and request for commitments of fund balance to comply with the Uniform Budget Act 621 and Governmental Accounting Standards Board Pronouncement 54, and more accurately reflect fiscal year 2023-2024 revenues and expenses. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Ms. Stamper?
Okay, this is a customary year-end request that we typically come to you each year to amend the budget to reflect more accurately the revenues and expenditures that we actually experience through the year. With the fiscal year ending in just a few days, this is our last opportunity to amend that budget. So everything has been laid out in the report of what we suggest be amended to prevent overages in any of those accounts, because we can't end the year being over on expenditures from what was in the original budget. That would be, we would have to answer the state for that. So this is our customary request to amend the budget, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Do we have any questions? Councilmember Sharp?
I just wanted to say, it looked like we had a very good year.
Yes, we did.
Income well exceeded expectations, and expenses, I think we're under.
Yes.
Yeah,
Overall,
we're under.
we'll be under, yes.
Yeah. So we ended up adding back to the general fund at the end of the fiscal year $1 million.
Yes.
Basically, a little bit more.
Yes, at least, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to approve the year-end budget amendments and budget and request for commitments of fund balance to comply with the Uniform Budget Act 621 and Governmental Accounting Standards Board Pronouncement 54, and more accurately reflect fiscal year 2023-2024 revenues and expenditures. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And that concludes the business portion of the meeting tonight. Next up is the second call to the public. I will not read the rules to the call to the public, with the exception they'll be the same. You can speak whatever's on your mind. Do we have anybody for the second call to the public? Mr. Meredith, you're our public tonight. Anything?
I was impressed by the entire meeting tonight. Good cake, we're done this fast. I wanted to let it go.
You didn't give us the address.
Thank you. With that, we'll close the call to the public and move on to city manager's comments. Assistant City Manager Benson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll keep it somewhat brief, but the number one thing I do want to say is give a shout out to DPW Director Sigma for receiving the Water Environment Association's Arthur Sidney Bedell Award, recognizing his extraordinary personal service to the association. I believe you received that at that particular conference last week, and it's not your first award for your service in the water, wastewater world, so we're fortunate that... Huh?
Nor is last.
Nor hopefully not. Thank you for everything you do and contributing to the larger local government world for water and wastewater. The other thing I'll mention is congratulations to our various employees who are celebrating anniversaries. Some as short as only 1 year, and our own Marilyn Stamper celebrating 27 years with the city on July 14th. So. A lot of people celebrating work anniversaries, and we're lucky to have them. And that's all I have.
Very good. City Council comments. Councilmember Smiley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple little things. Congrats again to Officer Romero. Congrats to Mr. Sigma. I like the picture too. Nice picture of you there in the award. I also want, I was going to mention Maryland. 27 years. That's something. That's nice. Good job. And only because you're here, Chief Giesler, 22 years. And I see, Chief Langmeyer's on here. It's only 2 years, but it seems much longer.
Yeah, I know.
Other than that, fireworks here Thursday, and otherwise, everybody have a happy Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Behrman.
Congratulations, everyone, on your anniversaries. We appreciate you.
Councilmember Sharp.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to congratulate Director Sigma on his award and welcome Officer Romero. And also, I commented on the city having a good year, but that's thanks to the fiscal responsibility of the departments and all the department leads. They're getting, the revenues are coming in, but they're not spending them just because they're there. And I for one, really appreciate that. It's always good to be adding money back to the general fund at the end of the year. And hopefully that means we tax less and we still do the roads in the future. Thank you.
Councilmember Gatchel.
Thank you. You almost caused one of your other council members to choke down there. I also wanted to welcome Officer Romero and thank him for serving our community and our residents. Congratulate Mr. Sigma as well for his award. And also, I got a compliment to pass along to DPW and Jody in particular. They had, from the sidewalk program, one of their sprinklers was torn up, and he said as soon as he called, Jody had everybody out and it was taken care of, and he couldn't have been happier with the fast service and the pleasant service. So please pass that along too. Thank you.
Councilmember Garland Fox.
Well, not to repeat everything that everyone just said, but thank you to our employees celebrating the work anniversaries, and Mr. Sigma, great job. And also welcome Officer Romero. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Thank you, Mayor. I would also like to welcome Officer Romero on board. And Tim, congratulations. And if you've never spent an afternoon with Tim, he knows more about protozoa and poop-eating bacteria than anyone cared to know. So it's worth an hour spent over there at the DPW yard. And yeah, I will not be here for, I think, the first time in 28 years for the Light the Night fireworks. The company I retired from is doing a 40th anniversary in Mackinac Island, which I was invited as a retiree, so I will not be here. All right, everybody be safe. Let the professionals do the fireworks. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd like to welcome Officer Romero to the Wixom family, and congratulations, Tim, on your award. And thank you and congratulations to everybody who's celebrating a work anniversary for the city this week. And looking forward to seeing almost everybody Thursday night at the fireworks. But with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great holiday. Stay safe.